We're live. We're live.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. May peace be upon you. This is Edward Ahmed Mitchell, Deputy Director of CAIR National. Hope all of you are doing well and staying safe in these final days of Ramadan. May Allah accept your worship, especially allow you to worship devoutly during the night of decree. Today we have a special program. We're not going to have a special guest on. We're going to be showing you for the very first time the year in review video that CAIR National shared at our national gala last fall. We've never published it to the broader public before. We're going to share it with you today, inshallah. And this video overviews some of the major cases, major campaigns, major advocacy that we carried out over the past year. Everything related from issues involving school bullying to dealing with anti-BDS laws and other major legal and advocacy topics that we tackled over the past year, inshallah. So we're going to play that video for you today. First chance most of you will have to take a look at it. And it's also my pleasure to announce that our telethon last night, alhamdulillah, went very, very well. Those of you who were watching the show know we were on for about 3 hours, mashallah. We had some great speakers, great guests, heard some great content from the men and women of CAIR. We raised about $130,000 last night, alhamdulillah, which got us closer to our goal for Ramadan. We're still not there yet, but we are closer. We need to keep on pushing so we can hit that goal and make sure that CAIR can continue to serve, protect, and empower the American Muslim community, even though, you know, we, like everyone else, has taken a hit during COVID-19. We want to make sure we can keep doing this work at the level we need to do it. So please continue to donate to CAIR, inshallah, over these 5 days of Ramadan. Help us to reach our goal. We're getting closer. And last night, alhamdulillah, was a big help. So thank you to everyone who donated, everyone who watched, everyone who otherwise participated. We're going to replay the telethon tonight, inshallah. The telethon is called A Night of Empowerment. We will replay it tonight, inshallah, from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So, you know, while you're eating iftar or, you know, taking a break, feel free to tune in and take a look. If you missed anything last night, take a look tonight. And of course, feel free to donate, inshallah. And so we hope you will enjoy the program. Great information about the work that CAIR is doing to serve, protect, and empower you, your families, your neighbors, and all people across this country impacted by bigotry and discrimination. So with that, inshallah, we are going to show our national video now. Again, most of you, this will be the first time you're seeing this video. Please enjoy it. And I'll come back at the end to close this out, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Well, I mean, in 1994, we had 2 people in a 2-room office on K Street in Washington, D.C. It was just Nahad and myself.
So you can imagine 2 people in an office
on K Street in Washington, D.C.
taking on centuries old of stereotypes to get 2 people out of this community, go to Washington, D.C. and say,
Nahad
we're
and
going to
myself.
make changes there. So you can imagine we're going to succeed. You know, many people thought it was a joke.
In an office on K Street in Washington.
You can't be doing this. This is a violation of somebody's First Amendment rights.
CAIR called in the media,
on
setting up press conferences in front of the
old.
hotel and JCPenney. The result? Both women got apologies and their jobs back.
When you think about fighting stereotypes in the U.S., we're not talking about a simple idea.
He was like, so do you have to wear that thing on your head? And I was like, my hijab? Yes, I do.
19-year-old Nasia Barlasgar says that's what a manager at a McDonald's restaurant asked her during a job interview.
So the choice to wear hijab for me is a personal one. I choose to practice my faith outwardly as well as inwardly, and I wear hijab as an act of worship to God.
A Muslim woman says that she was sent packing from a Hollister store in San Mateo because she wouldn't take off her headscarf.
So when I think about CAIR's history, hijab is an act of worship to God.
A Muslim woman says that she was...
But on civil rights and civil liberties generally, I know that it made it easier for me growing up.
To the Council on American Islamic Relations, the advocacy group tried to get some answers from Abercrombie & Fitch.
One of the most common types of complaints that we get are complaints that are being filed on behalf of American Muslims who are applying for jobs and have not been accepted to those jobs because of their faith.
Over the past 25 years, CAIR has processed about 40,000 cases, including discrimination, bullying, hate crimes, and many other areas. It is because of CAIR's relentless efforts that we are now equipped to fight for our civil rights and civil liberties.
The focus was about me being the first Muslim woman in hijab to represent Team USA at the Olympic Games.
She will become the first American.
Executives, judges, models, athletes, and elected officials.
Well, my name is Hillary Shelton. I am the director of the NAACP's Washington Bureau and serve as Senior Vice President for Policy and Advocacy. The big issue, I think, for my friends at CAIR at the time was True Lies. A blockbuster of a film that depicted Arab Americans as almost exclusively terrorists.
We are all prepared to die.
I don't remember anyone being on the other side of the equation very much with that film.
From the beginning, we communicated with them and we say, you are depicting Muslims and Arabs in a negative fashion as terrorists, and that's unbecoming of a major From the beginning, we
like
communicated with them and we say, we communicated with them, we are depicting Muslims and Arabs in a negative fashion as terrorists, and that's okay, we're gonna pick it.
Muslims protested at movie theaters across the nation to reclaim their identity.
The action movie True Lies was truly offensive in its portrayal of Arabs and Muslims. At CAIR's insistence, one of Hollywood's leading movie studios, 20th Century Fox, agreed to run a disclaimer at the end of the film.
The spark that probably gave us hope that with organized action, with community support, with the right messaging, we can make a difference.
CAIR took on stereotypes wherever they occurred, in Hollywood films, in defamatory racist attempts at humor, or in political propaganda disguised as journalism.
I mean, you name the company, you name the news agency, you name Hollywood studio, we went against them.
CNN, PBS, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and dozens of other national and international media outlets now call CAIR for mainstream Muslim views on issues of the day.
More than 1 billion people who aren't fanatical, who don't punish women, who just want to go to the store.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Don't do any of the things you're saying. All Muslims.
Wait a second.
Stereotype.
Only in America can a first-generation Indian American Muslim kid get on this stage and make fun of the president.
Colleagues to take action to impeach this lawless president today.
Have you even read the United States Constitution?
An investigation by a news agency has revealed New York's police department has been keeping track of Muslims in Brooklyn.
Since I started at CAIR about a decade ago, the most common complaint that we've received is American Muslims that have been wrongly placed on a terror watch list.
Treated like a second-class citizen, stigmatized, profiled, harassed, treated like a criminal.
one of our landmark cases that we filed to challenge the watch list on behalf of 21 American Muslims. And in that decision, he found the watch list to be unconstitutional.
Federal judge ruling the FBI's terror watch list violates the Constitution.
One of our landmark cases that we filed to challenge the watch list on behalf of.
The ruling against the terrorist watch list validates what CAIR and the American Muslim community have been saying for nearly 2 decades.
I've been waiting 15 years for this victory. For 15 years, been harassed and targeted by the government, even though I've done nothing wrong.
Well, when he was very little, he was very rambunctious. He started talking and walking early. Like, he was walking by like 6 months and saying full sentences by a year. He called himself a pacifist. He explained it to me as that he doesn't want to like harm people or things. And so I had to look it up, and then I went back to him. I said, but how does that work, like if they're harming you or if you like feel really strongly about something? After they found out that Jake was Muslim, they call him a terrorist. 9/11 was awful because he'd get called a terrorist, asked if he was whatever group was in the news at that time, whether it was the Taliban or ISIS or whatever. And this kid, while the bus is in motion, comes and starts beating up Jake. At some point, I guess he passed out from what other people have told me, other kids have told me. He had contusions all over his body, like his chest, his face, a couple on his back. He had hair pulled out of his head. I texted him. I tell him that dinner is ready. He didn't answer. When I go out there, I find him hanging. People think that bullying just affects the one being bullied, but it affects everybody.
The Taylor's Falls mother is mourning the loss of her teenage son. She says he killed himself after kids bullied him over and over at his school.
The fact that my family has to live the rest of our life without him. And we were such an integral family, like we were so close. It felt really good because the first person that came out was Jelani from CAIR, Minnesota. And it felt good to tell somebody everything that we had went through.
He was physically forced into a locker.
And not have to be afraid of what their reaction was going to be or if they were going to believe us.
We are going to be filing a lawsuit to hold the school district accountable for its actions that directly led to his suicide.
CAIR has done so much to confront the issue of bullying in our schools. Unfortunately, more than 60% of children have reported that they have been bullied in schools either because of their status as a Muslim or perceived status as a Muslim. And I think those numbers are probably higher than that.
Since Trump took office, we've seen a significant rise in bullying throughout the country.
CAIR California just released a new report documenting the alleged bullying of Muslim students.
And this is the report that was released today. CAIR officials here in San Diego tell me they simply want school districts across California to try a little harder to make Muslim students feel safe and welcome at all schools.
The staff at CAIR made it their priority to demand immediate action and justice for Jacob and his family.
Our legal team has been engaged in a nationwide effort to strike down legislation that restricts the BDS movement.
Currently, there are 24 states that have adopted anti-BDS legislation. and another 15 states with pending legislation.
Earlier this year, a Texas judge ruled in our favor and struck down an anti-BDS law in Texas as unconstitutional.
A federal judge has blocked a Texas law that stops government agencies from doing business with contractors who boycott Israel.
Trump taking office really not just made it okay, but encouraged hate.
And complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
After he took office, we received a significant increase in all kinds of discrimination.
The real strength of CAIR is that it is an institution that has presence nationwide.
CAIR currently has chapters in 22 states across the nation.
With Ahmed Mitchell, he's the director for the U.S. state of Georgia at the council.
Joining me right now is Afaf Nasher, who is the executive director.
Hussam Alouche, who works for the Council on Islamic.
But we have other communities where we do not have CAIR chapters. Who's serving them? Nobody. Who's protecting them? Nobody.
There are 28 states that still need CAIR chapters.
We need to create more chapters, more offices, and have more representation in major cities and states in the country. We're not there yet.
I'm a convert, and even I've been told to go home. But what I know is CAIR makes democracy work for everyone, and we're empowering American Muslims every day to remind their elected officials that this is our home.
I think one of the main things that people can do to support CAIR and their work is always going to be donating.
As you can see, a lot of work has already been done, but we still have a lot of work to do. Our job is not over yet. Let's work together. Please support the Council on American Islamic Relations today. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. So thank you, Ayan, for playing that video. We hope you all enjoyed it. That's just a taste of some of the work that CAIR did back in 2019. Inshallah, we'll be sharing the 2020 video this fall, hopefully at our next gala, inshallah. In the meantime, please tune in tonight at 7 o'clock on our Facebook page and our YouTube page to check out the telethon from last night. If you missed it, please do watch it tonight. Great event that highlights the major departments in CAIR, the wonderful work they're doing, the people, some of the people they've helped, just a few of the people they've helped and worked with in recent years. And please, as you're watching, you're seeing the work they're doing, what they need to keep doing that work, what resources they need. Please donate to help us meet our Ramadan goal, inshallah. So with that, we thank you all for tuning in. Inshallah, the Daily Dose will be back a regular time tomorrow, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, inshallah. We'll be announcing our guests and the program topic soon. As always, if you have any topics you want us to address, please email info@cair.com, info@cair.com, so that we can consider bringing that topic onto the show. In the meantime, assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon you.